Okay, you see I have nothing special going on. I just mount up. A couple of tips with regards to spells. You can skip this back by going up there on the side. I just don't do that. I just dismount here. Blink it. A couple of tips with regards to the spell setup. I'd really recommend that you put rank 1 Blizzard on your hotbar. That's one. And rank 1 Arcane Explosion on your hotbar. I don't do the rank 1 Cone of Gold, I just use max rank if I'm panicking. There are quite a few safe spots if you're in trouble. The first safe spot is actually, you probably know of them, but I'm just going to repeat them in case. Sorry my mic is so shit, oops. Sorry my mic is so shit, I don't know why it's so quiet. Anyway, that's one safe spot, you know that one, you definitely do. These mobs usually patrol in a weird way, which is kind of hard to dodge them, so I just usually blink them as well. So the only real elite you need to kill is not this one, although you probably could if you're a bit scared of it. I also just blink this one, or you just wait for him to go to the right and you go past. Obviously, I hope you knew this, because otherwise it might have been the reason that you've been dying. You have to walk in to aggro the boss, because that bugs out the zombies. That's the whole purpose of this farm. I usually loot that chest, drop my mana ruby. Now the first elite that you need to kill is usually one patrolling down this corridor. Now I usually look for it. If it's a melee one, which is the soul eater or the blood drinker, I don't kill it. I actually leave it and I pull it with the zombies, but this one's a witch doctor, so I am going to kill it. So that's the first step. First step is getting full mana, always put on ice barrier before you drink. That saves a bit of time and it actually gets it off cooldown in case something goes wrong. You can double ice barrier. So okay, let's just kill this little fuckboy here. I do the really relaxed, simple, difficult to fuck up method. I don't do the Venruki method. It's like fucking scary. Kill that little bitch. Okay, repop my shield, drink up. None of the other buffs are necessary. Also, ice armor. Do not do mage armor. Do ice armor. It's just, it's a safety net in case something goes wrong. Okay, so then you go. You wait for this to be about 35 seconds and then you start your pull. So, okay, here we go. So I just click them. Click them once, because if you double click them they often bug out. And then I backpedal in like increments, and then okay, they're all back, and I freeze. Okay, now you walk away, you hop, you can reapply shield, doesn't really matter. Try and get your blizzard out as quick as possible, because the longer you can get it out into the nova, the more they're just going to stay there and take damage. You lay the second nova about halfway through the pack, and here you just start strafing. Strafing till you're about in line with them, you refreeze them. Reapply your barrier here, it's probably a good time to do it. And then you do that again. Usually 4 blizzards is enough to kill them. Usually 4 blizzards and maybe like 1 cone is usually the way. So you see my mana, about appropriate. I didn't get one air casting, which kind of sucks. They're all dead. Okay, that's the first pack. Oh, lucky, nice pants there. But yeah, I'm doing this very slowly now, just to show you everything. Doing it this way is really simple. Now here's one of the first tips. I should have looted the graves first. That's one of the tips that I don't follow myself. I've also got the macro you gave me to delete the shitty items. So I'm just quickly going to loot the graves. Now here it's very important not to cast your ice barrier. I'll show you why, because it actually wastes time, because you end up having to wait for it. The second pool you're always going to be using, I always use these protection ones. The second pool you're actually going to be using ice block, so you want quite a lot of time left on your ice barrier when you pull. So what I do for the second pool is I actually drink without having ice barrier active. It saves, you'd be surprised after doing this like 30 times how much time it ends up saving. It saves at least a minute a run by not ice barrieing now. So for this pool, I actually drink almost up, and this is usually where I recast conduit water and stuff like that. So if I were to need to cast conduit water, I'd get my mana up to 100%. I'd stop drinking, I'd cast ice barrier, then I'd recast all those, and then I'd re-drink one. Okay. And now when this is about 45 to 50, you initiate this pool. Okay, now this pool's a bit dangerous. It's usually the one that fucks up. So I'm always a bit wary of it.
I am out
So,
of range.
okay, I'll step here, and then when there's about 3, and I look at them while I'm blocking. I always look at them, make sure there's none of them stuck there. Then I unblock, backpedal, freeze. See, I only got, basically got my shield broken. Now here, usually probably a rank 1 blizzard would be smart to just make sure they get stacked up. But I don't really give a fuck. My gear's too good to care. Again, as soon as they get to about like the range where I start feeling uncomfortable, where maybe like a hunter's dead zone, I start strafing and then I refreeze there. Always when I'm in line with them, I refreeze. And then I run, I hop. I never let them escape the Frost Nova without already having Blizzard casted, because you know that whole batching shit of just like fucking you over. And you could be, you obviously know that the like crazy distances you can get away with if you hop, and if you like do these weird movements, and if you feel they're getting too close, you could just like quickly instep. So like for example, if that pack was over there, and you were running like this, and they were on their way, and you felt like, oh shit, they're getting a bit too close, you could just quickly like tap forward, instep to them, and that usually makes them all stop for like a good second, and then you just keep on running. It's a really weird tactic, and it works really well. It's obviously not really supposed to be like that, but yeah, it works. Now the last pack, I'm going to just show you what happens. I'm just going to mimic what happens if something gets resisted, just to help you with that. This video is going to be really long, and it's really fucking big. I'm sorry, I don't know how to sort it out. I'm too lazy to figure it out. So I'll just upload it privately on YouTube or something. Okay, all that shit's done. I think I mispulled like that one or something. I'm not really going for gold right now, I'm just trying to show you. It's not going to leave that one. And you'll see I don't cast Ice Barrier now, there's no point. It's just a waste of time if you do that, because then you might need to wait for its cooldown. Now this last pack, I very specifically cast Ice Barrier before drinking. That way I can double Ice Barrier on pull. So the first pack, you Ice Barrier before drinking. The second pack, you Ice Barrier after drinking. And the third pack, you Ice Barrier before drinking. That's something I do. So to get this to about 40 seconds is usually when I do the pull. That way, like I said, double Ice Barrier. Now this pull, I'm going to mimic if I had a resist. So, okay, it's 40 seconds, pull is fine.
I need to get closer.
If you miss a grave, don't go back for it. There's no point, you're just wasting it. So, okay, imagine I had a resist there. So, I'll wait for the Nova. One mob or two mobs will be attacking you, doesn't matter, you have Ice Barrier. Wait for the Nova, it's on 0, and then I walk away. And then rank 1 Blizzard on them. Rank 1 Blizzard. That should be enough. You just slightly walk away, and then you freeze just as the slow comes off. And if you got a double resist here, doesn't matter. You just stay close enough. You wait for the 1 second on Nova. You cone. You walk away. You rank 1 Blizzard. It overrides the cone, so it's fine, it's more than you need. You just get that on, get the 4 seconds on, and you freeze. That's why you get improved Nova, because it works perfectly. So you see, you just repeat that. If you get a resist, you just tank the mob with an Ice Barrier, just get in close, you get the cone on everyone, and you walk away and you rank 1 Blizzard. It works great. So these are only 2 mobs, it's a bit sketchy. Tinker, Flame Strike. I don't really like Flame Striking, then Rookie and people like that like it. I don't really. It's dangerous, especially with my lag. But yeah, that's it. So that was the method you use when something resists you. It gets a bit scary sometimes, but just like if your HP is fucking on like 100, it doesn't matter. For a mage, having low HP is irrelevant. There's no difference for a mage from having full HP and low HP. Because if you're in a position where you're not going to get hit again, it's fine. So that's it. That's my whole method. Now I'll show you the scarabs, but the scarabs are quite easy. I doubt you probably never had problems with the scarabs. Let me just loot this shit. I think I missed that one. So fuck that, I'm not gonna mess with it. And you'll notice the insane amount of gold you get. I got about 4.5 raw gold just from the mob drops. Just like look at the like insane numbers of gold of silver that they drop per mob. And with the shitty items deleted, you get a good you probably get about 10 to 15 gold a run, which is pretty crazy. No, it's a bit high. Maybe like 9 to 13 gold or something like that per run, which is really good. You can see get good weapons. The value of everything is always close to a gold. Some of the stuff actually sells for quite a lot. Okay, this is how I pull the scarabs. I wait for these two to get on 30 seconds, and I use mana shield because they have low HP. I cast a blizzard there, cast a blizzard there, cast a blizzard there, and then I rank one arcane explosion here. Rank one off. I usually blink there, doesn't really matter. I recast my ice barrier, turn my face to them, and I ice block in the spawn. As soon as they're all here, I remove ice block and walk away. Never strafe, always backpedal the first like couple of yards. One blizzard should kill them. If it doesn't, just arcane explosion once or twice and they're all dead. It didn't, so I guess I missed the first two. You just instep on them. You see how they stop when I instep. Every time, like, if I see, okay, this fucker's coming for me, I just go at him for half a second and I just turn my back and then they just stop. Which is, I mean, I think Tannage or someone is fucking good with that. He uses it so well that he doesn't use Blizzard whatsoever. Oh no, it might be someone else. But anyway, one of the mages in our group is so good with the instep that they actually just don't need Blizzard whatsoever. They could just kite with Cone, and they just do Flame Strike spams. So yeah, that's it. That's the whole thing.